त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Welcome everyone. I'm Lynn and here we have Vara, and we'd like to have a little meditate together. Our point of being here today, we'd also like to share with you how to get into the meditation. If it's your first time, don't worry, we'll take you through that process of connecting to your inner self to get into that meditative state. Last week we used the elements and had a foot soak, which was an interesting thing. We were wondering whether any of you would have had a chance to try that at home, so feel free to share with us at the end. The other thing is that today we were thinking we dwell a little bit on the connection of the heart with meditating. We had a little chat earlier, Vara, about when we do things that we find a little less than perfect. Say we are in the traffic and reacting to someone who's just cut us off, and our first thought might be to get back around them and get in front of them. But then if we can talk to ourselves, say, and go, oh, Lynn, really? Is that what you're going to do now? You're going to get super angry? Is that the way to behave? And it's kind of immediately you're identifying yourself with some higher part of yourself. So you've immediately separated from that behaviour. But the only way you can hold on to that ability to separate yourself is when you get your self-realisation, we call it. And Vara will take us through that process if it's your first time. And even if it's your second or third or fourth time, it's always nice to reconnect by going through all of the, the long version of doing that connection with your own spirit, with your own higher state of consciousness. Vara, was there any other point you thought about that
about the
process?
The heart.
And the heart connection, basically.
Yeah, with what you said, in the we evolved from animal stage to humans. So the basic instinct of reacting in that traffic situation, or at home with kids and spouses, and the like an animal stage thing, the lion is hungry, so lion will go and hunt. That is always there. And even though we are human beings, I think it's easy to very fall into that, because that's the default state for many of us. So with self-realization, so we've been meditating for a while. I'm not saying that we never get angry. We are absolutely, we're like a mountain of peace. It's not like that, but I think the difference in having a settled heart, which can only happen when you get your self-realization, is that you're able to look at yourself, as you say, externalize it, and usually you get a signal, like before you really go bonkers, you get a signal, like your right side being very hot, meaning the liver is emitting heat, or your right Ajna chakra, which is on this side. It gives you a signal. So before you go bonkers, you get that 5 to 10 second notice. For example, it often happens to me that sitting in a corporate meeting, and then someone, in my mind, let's say someone is saying something really silly. And then you really, like, the thought comes, come on, man, shut up, sort of thing, to that person who may be a senior person. Then you get this signal from your channel, and you're like, Vara, you're in that zone, shut up, like, zip it. Just that 5 seconds, I think it helps it really helps, because very practically, once you say something like that, it takes a lot of time to do damage control for the next week or two.
If you go too far.
You go too far.
If you don't pull it up before.
Pull it up. So that, I think, I feel, for me personally, that has been very helpful.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll get there too. And the traffic situation is just so common. Come to Canberra. You can practice your piece, whether you can do it or not. So on a at least you might say, oh, you idiot. At least you'll say it in your mouth, rather than getting off and telling that person. And then also, in more evolved state, it doesn't affect you at all. I'm not there yet, but
one day we'll get there.
One day we'll get there.
Yeah, so that you go there and you don't have that feeling guilty and feeling like you've hurt the universe by going there, and so that stays with you.
Yes.
Whereas if you've had a meditation that day, touched that nourishing place, it just is kind of like the water off the duck's back.
Yeah. There's one example before I don't want to ramble on too much. So there was this example that happened. It's actually a true story. So one of my friends was getting out of the hospital, and there was another man who was really going slow. He was going 50 on an 80 road. And this friend said, I was like seething because I wanted to go home. And something happened to him. He said, for a moment, he got this thought that maybe that person's wife is sick in the hospital and is an old person.
Yeah.
He is really not used to driving in the night.
Yeah.
So he's going slow. It's very hard to be in that state if your heart is not settled.
Yeah.
So perhaps if we think like that, even if you're wrong, like maybe the other person is an idiot, but if you think, if the first thought that comes is, maybe he's in a rush, it's going to the hospital, ambulance, whatever, the childcare called that the kid got hurt or whatever. So if that becomes the default state, I think we can save ourselves a lot of time
I like that analogy you said earlier, thinking with your heart instead of thinking with your brain.
Yeah, one day we'll play that speech that Shri Mataji said, where, in effect, she said, Shri Mataji, fill my head with my heart. So then you have that thinking with empathy. And, you can go to corporate trainings, which will charge a lot of money, and they'll explain this for 2 days. And the same person will get very annoyed with a coffee that's not very nice during that seminar. So this what we find is that Sahaja Yoga does those fundamental changes.
Yeah.
You've seen it enough. We hope you can start feeling that too. So should we start with the self-realization?
Yeah. Let's go there to the
So
place.
we'll explain. I'll explain. Let's do practical first, and then we'll go into the theory. So first thing is we put our feet on the ground.
Shoes are off.
Shoes are off. And hands on the lap, facing upwards. We're putting upwards because we are receiving, you could say, blessings from God. So we want to be ready. And then we put the left hand stays where it is, and the right hand moves to different places in our body. First is you put your hand on the heart, and then on the left side of your tummy, and then on the place where your leg meets the tummy, that corner there, and then back on the left side of the tummy, on the heart, on the left side of the neck. So the fingertips touch the spine, you can say, on the neck, and then you turn your head towards the right shoulder. And then with the center of the palm, you touch the back of your head and lift your head up. And with the center of the palm, you touch the forehead and you bend a bit forward towards Shri Mataji's photograph. And then center of the palm, right on top of the head, on the middle of the head. Even if it messes your hairstyle, don't worry about it. It's quite important. So you do that. So all of this, I'll repeat so you don't have to remember. Please keep your eyes closed. And I will say a few things. We call them affirmations. They are, you could say they are very fundamental truths. It just happens that in the busyness of life, we forget those fundamental truths and sort of get confused with who we are. So let's do that. Eyes closed, hands on the lap. Let's take a few deep breaths. Just for a half a minute or so. Let's put our right hand on the heart. And we ask a seemingly very simple question to ourselves. And while we say this, we use the word mother a lot. When we say mother, we are addressing Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, who has invented this technique of self-realization. We ask ourselves several times in our heart, Mother, who am I? Mother, who am I? Our right hand on the left side of the tummy. Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own guru? Now let's put our hand on the place where the tummy meets the leg. And with utmost sincerity and humility, we ask Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, Mother, please give me pure knowledge. This is the knowledge of the roots that you have within yourself, but you have not known until now. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. Put your right hand on the left side of the tummy again. And with full confidence you say, Mother, I am my own master. And the fact that you are here trying to meditate and get your self-realization is a proof of that. You have 100 choices to be elsewhere, but you did make a choice to be here. And that's why we affirm that truth again. Mother, I am my own master. We put our right hand on the heart. We play different roles in our lives, and many times we confuse our identity with the role that we are playing at that time. That's why it's a very seemingly simple question, but it's not. We fundamentally are a pure spirit, or Atma as we call in Sanskrit. You say, Mother, I am the pure spirit. So in your hearts, acknowledge and appreciate that fact. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Put our right hand on the left side of the neck, the fingertips touching the spine. And we turn our head towards the right shoulder. Often we beat ourselves for the mistakes that we've done in the past. Today, while you're getting your self-realization, let's make a reset. Mother, I'm not guilty. Mother, I'm not guilty. Now with the center of the palm, place your hand on back of head and lift your head towards the sky or the ceiling. Say, Mother, please forgive me for the mistakes I've done. Mother, please forgive me for the mistakes I've done. Now place the center of the palm on the forehead, bend a little forward, and say this important, very important affirmation. When you say this affirmation, please do not have any conditions. Say, Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. Now put the center of the palm on top of the head. And here you ask earnestly and sincerely, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please let me experience the state of thoughtless awareness. Now slowly bring your hand back to the lap. Keep your eyes closed. And stay in silence. You can say this prayer several times in your heart as you meditate. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. While we have our eyes closed, let's acknowledge what we are feeling in our palms, in our heart, and above our head. Now, a few things can happen. For some, they will feel a cool breeze in their palms and or on top of the head. For some, it will be tingling on particular fingertips. For some, it might feel a bit warm. So now we look at the theory of why we feel all these things. Okay. Okay, so bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stay in that meditative mood and close your eyes.
It's come up now.
Now you can open your eyes.
So what you'll see is on the base of the spine, you'll see a triangular thing inside which there is what we address as Mother Kundalini. And then you also have 3 channels, the center one, the left one, which is blue in color, and the right one, which is yellow in color. And then you have these different energy centers, which are represented in the fingertips. So now, which are represented in the fingertips. So Kundalini is there to help you. So when any of these energy centers or chakras are constricted or have an issue, let's say that did happen, that somebody cut you in the traffic and you got annoyed. So that typically means that your energy center number 6, which is on the forehead, that would be a bit constricted. So what Kundalini does is, as she rises against the gravity, she tries and clears all those problems. So when the problems are being cleared, you might feel a bit of heat. And once that heat is gone, there is a sensation of coolness. And when that sensation of coolness happens on a regular basis, because of the Kundalini is like a lot of threads. So as more and more threads go and pass to the topmost energy center on the top of the head, it's called the Sahasrara, the 1,000-petaled center. Then you reach a state of thoughtless awareness. So your thoughts just go away. And even if you feel that for very short amount of time on a daily basis, it's a nice positive feedback cycle. So you meditate, you reach thoughtless awareness, your centers get strong, your proclivity to get annoyed in such traffic situations reduces. So overall, you have a much more balanced, sort of peaceful state of existence. That was the theory behind it. So what would you like to do next, Lynn?
Let's now do the short form of taking the Kundalini up to the Sahasrara with the hands.
Okay. Would you like to show that?
Sure. Venkat, you know this now. So now you've already raised a few strands of that rope of Kundalini up to Sahasrara, and the short way of doing that, which is the same as going through the affirmations, is using your hands so you don't have to think. So the left hand, as Farah explained, was the one of desire, and the right one, the right side is of action. So our desire hand, the left hand raises up, and we're watching that. So that's our attention is on that. And while it raises up, we're winding the right hand around our desire. And we go up to the Sahasrara where we want to keep our attention and tie it up there with a knot. So we'll do 3 times, once for each of our channels. You want to do it with us as well, Venkat? We come up to the top and tie 2 knots. And the 3rd time, winding, 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 looking at our hand of desire, 3 knots, and that will keep our attention up at the Sahasrara. And those lovely vibrations we're now feeling in our hands and on our body, we're going to use those to envelop our entire subtle system And we'll go over and back, one for each of our chakras or our energy centers. So 7 times we'll do this. So you'll get used to doing this on a regular basis. And this is how you will meditate in between your sessions online or your sessions, live sessions, as Venkat has come here to do. In between times, in your morning or evening, whatever's convenient, this is how you can do your meditation at home in between times. And somebody can turn their phone off. Oops, it's me. So then you sit for 5 minutes is all you need. And then when you finish that meditation, you finish it by doing the same process again, which we'll do in a minute, but not just now. Does that make sense to everyone? Yes. The other thing we could do is, now we're nicely in our Sahasrara, we'll try to show you this simple technique of balancing ourselves. So, you know, if we've gotten too angry in the traffic, we may be over in the right side a bit. We may have reacted to our own self getting into that right side and be feeling left-sided because we're regretting that we did that. So we may be telling ourselves that, well, you're useless and you're always doing that, and I'm really annoyed at myself and I've got a really low opinion of myself, so I'm feeling very left-sided. So we'll do both those situations, and we'll start with the left side if we've gone there and regretting, and keep going over and over in our mind the symbolic traffic situation or any situation in our life. So let's just not think of things in particular, but just in general, we want to clear that left side. So we'll put our left hand open on our lap and the right hand down towards the earth. So as we've done with our foot soaking, we're using the elements to suck out any habits or any negativity that's stuck onto us that won't let go. Now it will let go, because we're now all realized souls, so it'll leave us alone. So we're asking Mother, as in the form of the Mother Earth, please suck away any habits or negativity from my left side. And so you can just close your eyes and, keeping your attention, in fact, at the top of your head, just allow your Kundalini to just suck out any extremes from our left side, from our past, from our desires that are not as pure as we would like them to be. So if you feel any thoughts are coming, just touch the top of your head, and that's where you want your attention to be. And then take that hand back down towards the earth and allow Mother Earth to suck away any extremes from our left side. So you don't need to think about it, but just feel. Then if you take your attention to your hands, you may feel something flowing from that right hand into the earth, and that left hand should ultimately start feeling more balanced. So it's not really hot or really cold. It's feeling nice. I hope you're also feeling nice. So let's bring that right hand back and open that one on your lap. And to now balance our right side, we'll bend the left hand so the palm faces behind you. And we're asking Mother, please clear my right side, my activity side, my action. And that's the futuristic part, the heated up part if we're getting angry. And again, you can close your eyes. Attention on the top of your head. Let any heat, anything in general, excesses, in the futuristic part of our nature. Your attention is on the top of your head. And now bringing both hands in your lap, just opening your eyes, and that meditative state should be increasing. And what might be nice now is if we listen to Shri Mataji's talking about the heart.
Let's do it. Connect,
and it'll go onto this TV for Venkat here and everyone here to see. You can probably just put it here.
Oh, just there?
Yeah, because it's got that HDMI. Oh, actually, you can just, yeah. When you share it, it'll come up, should come up over there. If you go to the video, probably share the video from the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, top one, it should be.
So.
Beginners 33. You might have to take it over there. We're highly technical here.
Yeah. Yes.
Excellent. See that, Venkat, nicely?
Yeah. Thank you.
We have done no living work whatsoever. We cannot do it. But when the Kundalini rises, you'll be surprised in many people who have problems on their centers, you can see with naked eyes the pulsation. Under your hand you can see the pulsation of the Kundalini rising, and you can feel the pulsation on top of your head here. And when the pulsation disappears, you feel the cool breeze coming out of your head, out of your own head. All these things are to be verified. There cannot be pretensions about it. Reality stands by itself. It does not need any support. So when all this happens to you, what you get? The self-knowledge. And what is the self-knowledge? Is to, first of all, to know about your own centers. Now a person gets lunatic without knowing that he's getting lunatic. A person gets cancer without knowing he'll get cancer. Whatever happens to him, he does not know what is happening to him. He has to go to doctors, spend a lot of money, everything, and then the doctor certifies, no, you have these 10 diseases in you. And that now you'll die after 1 month or so. You don't know how it has developed in you, how it has come suddenly to you. But when these centers are out of gear, then you feel this is wrong with you, that is wrong with you. Because you are realized soul and you can feel it on your fingertips when the centers tell you that this is wrong with you. This is not only on physical side. Physical side is the minimum that you get. But you find out about emotional side. You find out about your spiritual side also. Very clearly that spiritually where are you? Just to certify yourself that we are twice born people or we are this and this is misleading yourself. You have not been kind to yourself, I should say, and not honest to yourself. You have to be honest. We have to find the truth and we have to get to it because it is our own. This is our right to have it as human beings. and you cannot pay for it. One thing if you understand, you cannot pay for it, you will understand what is reality. Like the seed you plant in the Mother Earth, how much do we pay to Mother Earth? How much did we pay to Christ? How much did we pay to Rama or Krishna? To any one of them, how much did we pay? But those who are now commercialized all these ideas, we are just getting lost into it. So we have to little bit have a soul searching and find out, where am I? I have to find the truth. And I must get to it. This is the time that the whole world has to emancipate. This is the resurrection time. Or we can call it, this is the last judgment. But you will be judged by your own Kundalini, who is your mother. She doesn't trouble you. When you were born, your mother took up all the trouble, all the labor pains upon herself. She didn't trouble you. In the same way, this Kundalini doesn't trouble you. And she's anxiously waiting. I'm myself amazed the way these days the Kundalini is rising. Of course, today we have so many people, I'm sure you all will get realization. But in a place like Paris, where I never had such hopes, 1,000 people getting realization, I was amazed at that. And all of them full of joy, laughing. I've never seen French women laughing that much. They've never laughed normally. And I was amazed that all their cheeks were up there, up to their eyes. And I said, what's the matter? They said, Mother, I don't know from where this joy is pouring. That's the quality of the spirit, that you start feeling so joyous. And the joy doesn't have the duality of happiness and unhappiness. It's singular. You just feel it from within yourself, you enjoy yourself. Please, after that. Right? Is he a Sahaja? You're not a Sahaja, then please don't take my photographs, all right? Please. So, then another quality of the spirit is that when it comes into our attention, the light of the spirit comes into our attention. Like supposing this room is completely dark. We don't know how we relate to each other, where we are sitting. If we start walking, we might tumble over other people, we may try to trample some people. But if there is light, you see, you know where you are sitting, where others are sitting, what is your chair, what is their chair. So in that light of spirit, you develop a new awareness, a new dimension, which we call as collective consciousness, which is described by Jung very clearly. Jung has talked about this, and that is what happens to you. It is not a false thing that, oh, I am collectively conscious. No, it happens to you. Means you can feel the chakras of another person, you can feel what's wrong with him, and you know how to correct it. Under your hand itself, the Kundalini will rise. You get the powers. You get your own powers to raise the Kundalini and give realization. I mean, now I cannot go all over the places. Sahaja Yogis are doing this work. You all get those powers of raising the Kundalini and giving realizations to others so that they find their own self, their own spirit. So the absolute knowledge can be only known through self-realization, because whatever you want to ask like a computer, the answer comes.
That's a nice point. The answer just comes in rather than we think about it. Do you want to just take us a little further in meditation, Lara?
Right. Let's keep our eyes closed, hands on the lap. Let's put our hand on our heart in the middle of the chest, I should say. Mother, please remove all the impure emotions from my heart. Mother, please let there be no negative self-talk in my heart. Mother, please let there be no aggression towards others in my heart. Mother, please let my heart be at peace and balance. Now let's put our hand on top of the head. Mother, thank you very much for my self-realization. Mother, please let me feel the state of thoughtless awareness. Mother, please let me be in meditation. Mother, please let me be in meditation.
Hope you all had a lovely meditation. I had a fantastic meditation. It was really, really good. And all good things come to an end at some point.
Until next week.
Until next week. And do practice at home between times, just by raising the Kundalini and placing yourself in that bandham, which we'll do just now to finish. And as always, of course, in the WhatsApp groups, we've got short meditations. We've got the longer 21 days that have been going on for about 16 days now. So they'll finish in about 5 days. And we'll just not have such busy WhatsApp groups. You're welcome to follow those as well. But let's just finish for now by raising our Kundalini. Tying one. Tying the second one. The third. Just putting those lovely vibrations we're all feeling now over ourselves 7 times over and back. It could be 7 I've done. Thanks everyone for joining, and see you next week, and have a lovely week.
So please meditate at home, because the traffic doesn't stop. The only thing you can manage is your heart. Can't really manage the traffic.
That's true.
See you all. Have a nice evening.
Good night.
Bye. Finished 1 minute early.
It's okay.